As promised, I'm now going to do the second half of this video. I felt like I needed some kind of like dramatic entrance, but that's not going to happen today. This is the back to school tag part 2. I noticed there weren't really any like good tags for back to school. There are a lot of like back to school fashion and back to school things, and if there's anything back to school that you think of that you would like, let me know in the comments below and I'll be happy to do them. I've been trying to like go through some of my teaching stuff as I'm preparing for this year and decide like if there's any craft tutorials, you know, or anything that I could show you guys to do with kids. If you're interested in that, I feel like I'm gonna burp. If you're interested in that, let me know in the comments below and I'll be happy to do that for you guys. But anyway, the next question was number 6, favorite school lunch. I know a lot of people are gonna say Lunchables, but I was like, well, and still am a really, really picky eater. And so I think for me, I loved when my grandma would pack me salad and like pudding snacks. Oh my gosh, snack pack. I'm just like Billy Madison when it comes to being obsessed with snack pack. I actually, for a while, when I first got a cell phone, my ringtone was Adam Sandler's Billy Madison saying, "Where's my snack pack?" Because that was me. I always packed popcorn. I didn't like bread. I know, right? I was such a weird kid. Didn't really like bread. And I still tend to rip sandwiches apart rather than eat them like a normal sandwich. I kind of eat them like a dinosaur, actually. But I think my favorite thing was probably like leftover Mexican food or chips and salsa, any kind of fruit. If I had fruit, I still am a huge fruit eater. I would love to have that. Popcorn and anything like cookie related. I wasn't like a huge Lunchables fan though. I did really like the one, I don't even think they make it anymore, but they used to make a Lunchable that was like a Ritz cracker and pepperoni and maybe like mozzarella or Swiss cheese. Those I really did like. So if I was packed a Lunchable, I probably liked that. And I used to love it when my grandma would pack sweet tea in a thermos or Ecto Cooler High C, which I don't know why they quit making it. But Ecto Cooler is the one that had Slimer from the Ghostbusters on the front. I don't know what they put in that stuff, but it was so good. I loved that, and then I also liked like Dunkaroos for snack, things like that. Basically crap is what I like to eat. And then my favorite like school lunch that the cafeteria provided was probably square pizza. It really wasn't as bad as people say, and I recently went back and ate lunch with one of the kids that I was a nanny for, and they had square pizza, and I was like, this is amazing. But I loved when they did square pizza or mozzarella sticks, and I think my least favorite thing they did was probably like meatloaf, you know, or the Salisbury steak or something. And no matter what lunch you had, it always had either a fruit medley or a vegetable medley, and they called it medley to try to make it sound more appealing, even though it wasn't. And one of the things that I really hated about school lunch is I'm really weird about most things as far as like how I like my food and stuff. I'm not somebody that goes in a restaurant like Rochelle and says like, I want a BLT without the lettuce or the bacon, you know, stuff like that. But I am very, very, like I know what I like when it comes to food. And one thing I don't like is milk with food, unless it's like a cookie or a brownie. And so probably my least favorite thing about the cafeteria was that all they served was either chocolate or vanilla, chocolate or whole milk, which I thought was disgusting eating it with food. And so I used to pour my milk out in the trash can. I would make sure no one was watching and swish it around in the water fountain and fill it with water because I could not stand the taste of milk with whatever I was eating. So yeah, that's just a little weird OCD fact about me. What was on your lunchbox? Okay, well, for me, it was 101 Dalmatians because my favorite, and I carried that 101 Dalmatians lunchbox till like 9th grade. I had no shame. This is probably why I didn't have a boyfriend until I was like 20. But anyway, I had a plastic 101 Dalmatians lunchbox that had the matching thermos like they used to do for all the Disney stuff that was plastic. I mean, it was red, and I just thought it was like the most amazing thing ever. Sorry, I got a bug bite. I'm not scratching you know what, I'm scratching behind my knee, but it looks awkward. Anyway, that's for another video. I remember when I found it, I was so excited because at the time, 101 Dalmatians merchandise was limited, but I super, super enjoyed it. And I still have it somewhere at my grandma's. Maybe I can carry it to school this year, and the kids would probably think that was cool. But yeah, the 101 Dalmatians lunchbox was probably my favorite. And then when I was in high school, I just had like a green, like a canvas LL Bean lunchbox or something similar to that. Next, favorite TV show to watch after school. Oh my gosh, there were so many. I loved the Torkelsons. I think I've talked about that in a bunch of videos, which was about kind of a poor Southern family. And that one was definitely a favorite of mine. And then I also watched, what was it? Well, I watched like the Teen Nick stuff. As I got older, like Hey Dude and Salute Your Shorts and all that stuff came on after school, so I would run home to watch that. And I also really liked Beetlejuice the cartoon. Randomly, I would watch that almost every day after school. Next question, were you ever suspended and what for? Yes, I was suspended twice actually. I was suspended in 3rd grade because I was in a play and I was supposed to play an older woman. And my stage makeup, of course, made me look older. And I was waiting for my parents to come pick me up after school. And this little boy came up to me and just started saying hateful stuff to me and said that I looked like Cruella de Vil. And so I was the smallest in my grade, always. I'm only 5 feet tall. And so I think I compensated by like hitting people. And so when he said that, I turned around and I punched him in the mouth. And I was suspended for a day for that. I busted his lip and all that good stuff, and I was suspended. Actually didn't get in that much trouble for that one. And then when I was in high school, I was actually sent home early. I was only suspended for like half a day. But my friend, the one that passed away, she seems to be coming up in a lot of my high school stories. She was walking down the hallway, and she used to wear spandex stirrup pants. And this guy who thought he was like very popular and cool started calling her a fat word that's too bad to say on a YouTube video. If you really want to know what it is, you can private message me and I will tell you. I will give you a hint. It rhymes with sore and is a very bad word. And he had never talked to her. She was like very kind of quiet and just sort of like did her own thing and didn't bother people. And he just kept on saying it. And I, for some reason, like just felt full of rage. And I went after him and he was very, very much bigger than me. And I wrapped him and I was just punching him. And of course, I'm sure it wasn't doing anything. And actually, these other guys from my grade had to pull me off of him. So I was sent home early. And after I kind of explained things, and they'll let me come back to school the next day. And he didn't get anything because he was a football player. So whatever. But anyway, I have been suspended. Next question. What extracurricular activities did you do? Well, I was actually involved in quite a bit. And I have some photo evidence of these. I was in the Girl Scouts for a long time, and I actually, yep, that's me in my lovely Coolite Girl Scout uniform. Wasn't I cute? Actually, I don't look terribly different, which is sort of sad, but I was in the Girl Scouts, and I went all the way through the program and got my gold award in public relations, and so I have the little silver pin and the little gold pin. I was sort of late to the Girl Scouts, though. I started when I was in 7th grade. And then did it all the way up through like my 2nd year of college, and I loved it and got a lot of opportunities out of it. I was student council president senior year, president of the Spanish club. I was in drama club, yearbook, not an honor society thanks to my math grades. I did plays, I did the academic team. I was on the social studies team and the all-around doing the pop culture stuff, of course. And then I also did forensics, persuasive speaking. I was a section leader and president of show choir for 2 years in the soprano section. And what else did I do? I did Spanish. I think I joined physics club because they were going to have a cool field trip and then it got canceled or something. I did a lot of humanities-based stuff. I was very active in my church youth group. And I did a lot of things with them, like children's sermons. I taught Sunday school for 6 years while I was in middle and high school. I was trying to think if there's anything else I did that's noteworthy. Not really. Well, I took guitar and piano lessons. I took piano lessons for like 2 years, and I didn't really like it that much, and then I switched over to guitar. I can play a little bit, but I definitely can't play like very well because I can't read music. And I really just like to go out with my friends, and I skipped school quite a bit senior year going to various things. That's actually probably my favorite school memory is I skipped school one time to go to a magic show at the community college for this local magician that we all like kind of used to make fun of, and I got caught. So I think that might be my other favorite memory. And then the next question, was your picture day photo good or bad? Well, that depends on which picture day photo it was. First of all, I'll just kind of take you on a quick pictorial history. This is actually me when I was in the choir I was telling you about. I was in a touring show choir, and we went to New York and Williamsburg and Norfolk and the Bahamas and did competitions. And that's the one I was president of junior and senior year of high school, but that's me with long hair and our lovely outfits. And then this is me. This is one of my after school activities that I like, was going to friends' houses and like just playing games and watching movies and stuff. And that was me. And probably, I think that was sophomore year of high school. That was pre-braces. And then this is a picture of me with all of my friends in high school. I think this was junior year. This is actually me and Rochelle. This is me in the red and Rochelle over here in the black. But this is us and some of our friends that we used to hang out with in high school. And then I was like, where's my third grade photo? Okay, so I have my third grade day picture to show you. And I would just like to tell you that I had a mullet. I had like a straight up mullet. And my mom fireworked my bangs out, and of course my obvious 80s outfit. But this was the haircut that I had for like 6 years. It is basically the same haircut as Billy Ray Cyrus. Party in the back, business in the front. That's third grade. And then another fine example of this was fourth grade at my McDonald's birthday party when my mom tried to perm my mullet. This was also pre-braces. And side note, isn't having a birthday party at McDonald's like the coolest thing ever as a kid? I was so obsessed with like the McKids clothing line and Grimace, who my dad told me was McBoo, and I only found out that his name is not McBoo like 3 years ago. Thanks, Dad. Among all the other things you did, you lied to me and told me Grimace's name was McBoo. And then the last two questions. Favorite field trip? I think it was probably to go see the Nutcracker. That was one of my favorites. I really like going to I don't know what the name of it is, the Frontier Museum, something natural history here in Stanton, Virginia. And I don't live in Stanton, but it was in Stanton, Virginia. So it was like a pretty long trip. But that was really cool. It was different houses from like the historical periods. And then I also really loved when the choir went to New York City and did all the touristy stuff. I think that's probably like my favorite trip of all time. Rochelle has a different opinion about that because she had a really bad experience, but I loved it. And then the last question, were you a note passer? Yes, I was. I was actually quite famous in high school and in early college for drawing cartoons. And I used to do these sentence stories with people. Like I'd write a sentence and then pass the note back. But I passed notes. This was like before cell phones. So we passed notes as like a way of life. That's how we communicated about everything. And I drew cartoons of everyone and everything and every situation. And I wish I had some to show you. Maybe I'll show them in another video. Most of them are not at my house that I'm living at now. They're at my grandmother's, which is in a different town. But I loved them. And people still will occasionally like take pictures of cartoons they find that I've done and post them on Facebook. I was not a good artist, but I liked cartooning, so that was kind of my thing. But anywho, I hope you enjoyed this, and please do this tag. And I will talk to you later. And I apologize. I'm just going to have to be like, burnt.